Happy New Year, everyone. I hope 2024 is treating you well so far. So we're going to kick this year off with the very first review, and that is the Hammond Collection Dimetrodon. Alright, this is the latest addition to the Hammond Collection from Mattel, the Dimetrodon, a very popular dinosaur. This just now got released. I placed my order on the Target app yesterday, because that's when they had like their big Target resets, or their New Year reset anyways. So these are now hitting stores. You can also find them online. There was also an Amazon link. I don't think any of those have shipped yet. I unfortunately missed out on that, but it worked out in my favor because I have it here now. So I will post both the Target and the Amazon links in the description, so hopefully you can pick one up from there. But those of you that are in-store hunters, here is the barcode and the Target DPCI to help you track this down. Now the price for this is $14.99, which is pretty consistent with what we've seen with the previous Hammond Collection figures at this scale. So the Dimetrodon is a very popular dinosaur, one of my favorites, and this is the rendition that we see within the Jurassic World Dominion when Alan Grant meets this in the cave, so it has that same color scheme from the film. Prior to this, they released a mainline 2-pack for Jurassic World Dominion with Alan Grant and the Dimetrodon. However, as we know, the Hammond Collection is far more superior. Alright, here she is out of the packaging and she looks great. I love the Hammond Collection. I've been a big fan of it ever since its inception. In fact, I loved the Amber Collection when it was out. Unfortunately, they seem to have axed that. They're no longer doing the Amber Collection, but I still have all those dinosaurs, and I will continue to invest in the Hammond Collection, so much so that I kind of stopped collecting the main line of dinosaurs, and I put all my focus within the Hammond Collection. I think I'm missing one dinosaur, and I think that's the Gallimimus, which is unfortunately kind of expensive now, but eventually I'll track that one down. Like I said, the Dimetrodon is a very popular dinosaur. I think within their mainline series, they released 4 or 5 different color variants. The first one was the most expensive. I mean, it was the only one that they did for the longest time, and that was well over $75. I think it even reached over $100 a few times. Then they released like the green one, a slightly more green one, and then the Jurassic World Dominion one. But this one, I can already tell you, is the best because it is the Hammond Collection. It has so much detail and has crazy amount of articulation in such a small scale. And the paint apps are nothing but top tier. Even all the way down to the eyes, they make these dinosaurs look realistic. I'm just a big fan of this line, and I really hope we get to see a Spinosaurus in the future. Let's take a look at that articulation. So the mouth can open up about that far. I can force it to go even more, but obviously that is unrealistic and doesn't look good. So in a realistic manner, it can open about, I would say, this far. It does close pretty much flush. I mean, it is open just a smidge, but overall it does not like droop down or anything like that. It feels nice and snug. At the neck, we have 2 joints here. Looks like we have a hinge and probably a swivel, so I can move the head down about that far, and then moving upwards, a little bit of hyperextension, nothing crazy. I would say more or less in a neutral position before the sail kind of gets in the way. And if you wanted to, you can take the neck and spin it all the way around. This sail or dorsal fin looks great. It is a softer piece of material. I would say it's pretty consistent with like the tail. It doesn't like stay bent in one position. I mean, it does spring right back in, but it is different than the entire body of the Dimetrodon. So at the shoulders, it looks like we have 1, 2, 3 joints from the shoulder down. So the first one is a hinge, so we can bring both legs, front legs, up about that far from the body, and then we can take the legs and rotate them around just like so. That's what I love the most about these figures, is just how much articulation they can pack in such a small little body. And then down from that is like the elbows or the knees, so they are kind of inverted, and you can bend them about that far in, kind of like doing a push-up, and then you can bring them outwards pretty far out. You can basically get a straight line down. There's also a swivel joint here, so you can take this foot and rotate it all the way around. This body is beautifully sculpted. You can see what looks like ribs poking through. I mean, they really just do a fantastic job. I mean, you could see like the little scales throughout. I mean, it looks so realistic. At the hind legs, we have pretty much the same articulation, but maybe a little bit less range of motion compared to the front. I mean, you can see that this hinge joint isn't exposed back here, so you can tell that the range of motion isn't going to be as good. I mean, you can still bring them outwards, but I mean, compared to the front, they're not going out quite as far. I do think, however, we can still take this leg and spin it around, and it looks like we can. Perfect. So these hind legs actually have an extra joint here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 joints compared to the 4 that we have in the front. Now they snuck in a little ankle joint back here to give us some more articulation. But I am a little curious why they didn't put an ankle joint here at the front. Either way, that's not a make or break it for me, just something that I noticed. But at these knees, we could take this joint and bring it backwards about that far. Looks like almost 90 degrees, and then we can bring it forward with a little bit of hyperextension, nothing crazy, more or less just straight down. Again, it is also attached to a swivel, so we could take this part and spin her on around. And then just below that, we have basically the same types of joints, a swivel and a hinge, and we can take this ankle, rock it back about that far, and we can also flex it forward a good amount. That's actually pretty impressive. And then of course, we can take this foot and spin it around also. The last major point of articulation is going to be here at the tail, and like they've been doing from the beginning is they put a bendable wire in this, and so the outside is like a rubber type of material, which is really nice, and so that's going to give you the freedom to flex this a lot of different directions. So I can bend it completely to the left, I can straighten it out, and I can do just like a small crooked area, and then I can go completely the opposite side. And then at the base of the tail there's a ball joint, so you can move this around all different directions. And this is really cool because it's like the icing on top of the cake to all these figures. And they've been doing this to their smaller dinosaurs and even their larger ones also. Let's take a look at some measurements. So from a neutral standing position, I wouldn't say in a crouching push-up position that this dinosaur is normally in. From bottom to top of the fin, I would say about 3.5 inches. And then as far as length goes, so from tip of the tail to the front of the mouth, I'm thinking we are about at 7.5 inches. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. Let's do a comparison with the mainline Dimetrodon. This is, I think, a Walmart exclusive. It's one of the like battle damage ones. The obvious differences between the Hammond collection and the mainline dinosaurs is going to be the paint applications and just the overall quality. These are really good and they were great for when they were coming out, but since the Hammond collection is now new, it's here, it's more of a collector-based type of line. This is obviously far more superior. Let's move into some bigger dinos, and within its same class, we have some more Hammond collection. These are some of my favorites. I've been a big fan of Jurassic Park 3, so this female raptor is great. I'm surprised that it hasn't sold out completely on Amazon. I'll post the link in the description. I think it's a very stand-up piece. I mean, it comes with Alan Grant with the appropriate attire. It has the lucky bag with some eggs, and then this quality raptor also. I mean, it's a must-have. The Ceratosaurus is also great. It's one of my favorites, and unfortunately, some of these Hammond collection dinosaurs go extinct really quickly. So one week they'll be there, and the next week you won't see them ever again. And this is one of the dinosaurs that happened to. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I mean, I don't know if it's just like low production count or what happened, but now this one sealed, I think is going for, I don't know, like $120, something crazy. And that's happened with a few dinosaurs. I think it was the Gallimimus and also the Dilophosaurus. They like hit shelves and then all of a sudden they just stop showing up and they're going for like 4 or 5 times the price of what they were at retail. So it's like one of those things that if you see one of these dinosaurs you really like, I would recommend grabbing it right away because you don't know if that figure is going to go extinct. I mean, that happened to me with the Gallimimus. I saw it in store like once or twice and I was like, okay, I'll get it maybe the next time when I get paid or whatever. I never saw it again, and now it's like $60 for one loose, and I just can't justify spending that much money on it right now. Maybe I'll do like a trade or something in the future, or maybe I'll get lucky on like Mercari or eBay. People have been finding them at like $10 or $15. You just have to be diligent. But before we wrap up, I can't leave out the Carnotaurus, my favorite Hammond collection dinosaur that they've released so far. Such a beautiful piece. I mean, if you're remotely a Carnotaurus fan, I would highly recommend you pick this up. Sale or not, it's worth every penny. I mean, hell, it even made my top 10 figures of 2023. That's how good this figure is. And they did vast improvements on the glass eye. I mean, it looks so clean. Alright everyone, that's going to wrap up this review and unboxing of the new Hammond collection Dimetrodon from Mattel. Again, this is a great piece. If you're into the Hammond collection or just dinosaurs in general, then I think this is a must-have to your collection, especially since you never know if these might hit shelves one week and then never show up again. But all in all, the Hammond collection brings a lot of value for the price points, and you know that is something that I really look for and enjoy. So it has crazy amount of details. I mean, the paints on this is fantastic. From what they've done, they've always improved on their figures. It has a crazy amount of articulation as well, and all of this is bundled in together for $14.99, which I think is a big win for us collectors. It's hitting targets now, so check your local store. I will also put the links in the description so you don't miss out. But that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video, the first review of 2024 with many, many more to come. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram to stay up to date when new things drop like this Dimetrodon. I also post toy photography and toy videos. And if you did enjoy this unboxing and review, give it a like, a subscribe maybe. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job and you're enjoying the content. Until then, we will see y'all in the next video. Since it is 2024 and the first review of the year, I'll give you a little glimpse of the Hammond collection. Shelving over here, I have some of the humans over there, but this is the meat and potatoes of it all, the dinosaurs, and the Dimetrodon is going to fit in there perfectly. I'll probably make some room here, or maybe I'll just like put her on top of this like little riser.